Hi guys, today I'm going to just have an informal um, chit chat about the current masculine energies. I don't have any special topic to talk about, but I feel that um, the masculine energy right now is going through their awakening process, and a lot of them are trying to they're very in a very defensive mode, and they're trying to stay away from the energies, hide away. Some of them are in isolation. Some of them are numbing the pains of ascension and awakening with drinking, maybe drugs, self-medication, self-medicating, to fight all the side effects of not being able to sleep properly, or not being able to focus, or not being able to feel upbeat. I feel some of these energies are affecting the feminines as well. There is going to be a full moon eclipse on the weekend, and this eclipse is happening in the Capricorn, in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is an earth energy. So there's a lot of heavy energies going on right now. A lot of planets are in retrograde, and retrogrades slow down the processes. And Mars is in Aries, like I said in my previous videos, that is putting some action into the scene. So there's a lot of pull and push in the energies, and that is affecting our day-to-day life, our on personal and social levels. What I think right now is, or what I feel right now, rather, is um, the masculines are trying to shut out the connections, their true connections, their divine connections. So if you are a feminine listening to this, you might feel that your masculine is pulling away. They may not be telepathically talking to you. They might be hostile. If you do talk to them, or in 5D even, they might be hostile. They might be envious. They might be attacking you, or taking your energy, or be deceitful with their approach. And the reason for that is the death of ego. Their ego is dying as you pull away from them, and as you focus on yourself, and as your energy is removed from their life. Their higher self is battling their ego. So there is that internal battle inside them, about your connection and about everything else that's happening in their life. A lot of the shadow, dark parts of themselves is coming up to the surface for them to deal with. Their childhood wounds are coming up to the surface to deal with. So they are pretty much in their dark night of soul, where they have to look at their issues and their problems, but they don't want to. And this battle is constant, and it's such a heavy burden on them. It might show as physical issues on in their body. It might be like back pain, stomach pain, neck pain, or just feeling exhausted all the time, wanting to sleep, or wanting to not just do anything, just wanting to just be on the couch and phase out. I don't know, in a show, or in drinks, and just feeling numb altogether. For the feminines, I feel that you are focusing more on your life. You already have passed this stage of your awakening process. It was, I think, sometime either in 2019 or 2018, depending on when your awakening process started. But feminines are way beyond the dark night of the soul. They are more in their ascension process, where every day there is downloads, there is more learning, there is growing. And I believe that a lot of feminines have shifted their focus from their relationships and connections onto their business deals and their coins. And I think a lot of you have already, even if you haven't even physically started a creative project, you already have plans for that, and you are putting your own business together, or you're having a new hobby that's taking your time, or you have changed jobs or homes, and there have been positive changes in the feminine energies environment, whether created by her or put on her path by the universe to shift her from putting all her energy into the connection, because you guys are your energy is light, it's upbeat, it's high vibrational, and putting it into a counterpart connection towards a masculine who is in a very dark, shitty place, pretty much, is draining you. There is no give back for sure, because they're not in a place to give back to you. But then at the same time, you're pouring your light into a dark hole, pretty much, into the devil energies, into negativity. And that negativity sometimes, depending on how far your masculine is into their awakening, that negative pull and toxicity could be so strong that it could pull you back into lower vibrations. And that's what you don't want to do. A lot of you have already worked hard to get out of that feeling. You have already dealt with your past wounds. You have already dealt with you already done your shadow work. You already did get in touch with all the karma that you had to deal with. And if you're never finished, really. There is always learning for us every day. But I believe that a lot of feminines already passed this stage of dealing with low vibrational toxic matters, and if you focus on what your masculine is doing, how they're living their life, what kind of issues they have to deal with, and you involve yourself in that, or you try to help them in that matter, or if they ask you physically in the 3D to help them, and you do, there is a very high chance that you get pulled back into the black hole that they're in. It sucks your energy out of you, and then you have to go through the whole process again. You will get triggered. You will get attached again, basically, and all the codependencies might come up again, and all the you will have to cover the same ground that you already have covered, probably even multiple times. So I think the feminines are generally in a better spot. Their lives are picking up. I know a lot of feminines have changed jobs, and or they have side businesses. They're making money, and because they accepted their true self, and because they accepted their true path, and because they were honest with themselves and with their surroundings, and because they were not afraid, the universe opened doors of abundance to them, or at least it is still opening. If you're not there yet, keep at it, because the abundance is going to flow in. And I think this is going to make your masculine feel betrayed. That's the major energy that I feel right now. A lot of masculines are feeling betrayed by the new you. They are feeling betrayed by the high vibrational you. At the same time, it's kind of a love-hate relationship between the masculine and feminine energy right now, because these masculines can feel you. It's not this whole feeling and telepathy. I'm sure it's both ways. They can feel you. They can feel your energy. They can feel your absence. They can feel the pull away. They can feel the shift of your focus. They can feel that they're not the center of your attention anymore, and that your attention is onto other things, maybe even onto other people, if you started dating new people. And I believe that causes them, um, it brings up this love-hate relationship, because if they are your true divine counterpart, and they see you successful, regardless of how toxic your relationship was, these people deep down, they love you, and that love causes them to be proud of you. If you grow, when they see you grow, when they see you in your power, they admire you, and you're on a pedestal, and they're proud of you, and they want you to be happy. But their lower self, at the same time, they envy you, and they're jealous. They want to be where you are. They wish that they could be as free as you, and um, a lot of them wonder how you're doing it. How do you do it? How are you stable? How are you, um, so balanced? How do you keep your peace? How are you so calm? How is your environment healthy? How do you do it, right? Because a lot of them might look from outside, and look at your life, and you may not have too much. You may not live in a castle. You may not drive, I don't know, whatever car. You may not have whatever, income, all the things that the masculine energy is focused on, the material side of life. You may not have all that, but you're balanced, and your energies are balanced, and you're happy, and you're upbeat, and you're living a good life. And that's what puzzles them on how do you do it? What is it that brings this happiness to you, and how come I can't do it? How come I don't feel that way? And they might be working so hard on their money. They might be working so hard to climb the corporate ladder. They might be trying to stay attached to their family and partners, if they have, if they're in a relationship, or if they're married. They might be staying in those situations for material gain, for a sense of comfort, when it comes to, tangible stability. But the stability that they need to feel in their heart is absent, and there is fear in there. And I feel it, from my own masculine, that he is, living in fear. And when I talk to my other feminine friends, some of my followers, um, they do talk about how their masculines are agitated, and they're frustrated, and they're not confident about themselves. They are, um, every one step they take forward, there is two step back, and they come hot and cold, and even the telepathy is not always there, and all that. And that's because the masculine is still going through, this shadow work, and they don't really want to face it. They don't want to face their true self. Like last time I talked about both the times that I talked about the mother and father wounds, I got, attacked by, especially when I talked about the father wounds, I got attacked by, my masculine energy, um, because I don't know, I have no idea whether he knows about my channel or he listens to this, but as I speak it, I'm sure that if he is tapping into my energy, he can feel what I know. Um, and we are mirrors of each other. The masculine and feminine energy are mirrors of each other. There is a lot of times that he has shown, my toxic dark side to me, and I felt, attacked, and I felt, um, uncomfortable, basically. And I feel that, for those videos that I posted, especially the father wound, um, it touched him, in a very soft spot, in a very, not a soft spot, but a very sensitive spot, because, a lot of these masculines have spent their, entire life at service of their families, and, um, it is very difficult, to accept and admit and understand and see for real what kind of, um, a, a bond, what kind of, connection they were in. It's very difficult to see that you spend such long time in your life, so many years, of your life you have spent serving someone, and that service was due to toxic connections, due to toxic attachment. Um, we have always, a lot of us have been in scenarios where we have taken care of families, especially parents, if they're older, if they need us. But I did make it clear in my in my video, in my post, that, and if you haven't listened to it, please do. I did make it clear that these serving parents is on its own is not a wrong thing. It's a very good thing. It's good to take care of each other and be there for each other. But being there because you feel you have to, or you feel there is nobody else, or it becomes a burden for you, or it takes you away from who you are, and what you really need to do with your life, and you're sacrificing yourself for them. If you feel uncomfortable doing what you're doing for your parents, if you're not doing it from the bottom of your heart, if you feel like you have to do it, if it's a job, if it's a responsibility, then it's not healthy. And if you feel that what you're doing, if you don't do it, you will be judged, you will be banished, you will be gossiped about, your parents would disregard you, and I don't know, they would disapprove that kind of action, and it's their expectation for you to be there, pretty much like an obligation for you to be there for them, then it's toxic. And for a lot of these masculines, it's very difficult to accept the fact, because then there goes a lot of years of their life that they try to convince themselves that they were good people because they were there for their parents. Then suddenly that image is shattered, that image of a good son, good daughter, because these divine masculine energies are energies, it's gender unrelated. So whether they were a good child for their parents, they were there for them, suddenly that image is shattered, that image is judged. And what my masculine was telling me for that post was, it's none of your business. How dare you talk about my family issues? How dare you put yourself in a situation to, like, you're in no position to judge us, and you're not in no position to tell me how to treat my parents. And it was a very hostile energy, and it was a very resentful energy. But if the old me would get triggered by that, and I'm sharing this with you feminines to understand that if your masculine is attacking you, or if they're resentful towards you, or if they're hostile towards you because of something you're trying to teach them or show to them, be happy about it, because that is a trigger. That is something that is true, and if this is triggering them, there is a sense of truth, and there is a wound associated with it. Because if we are talking about something and we can't relate to it, and we just can't. If something is triggering you, making you upset, making you angry, making you resentful and defensive, then there is a story behind it, and that story is what the shadow work is, that these masculines need to work on. Like I said in my previous post, a lot of these masculines do have father wounds. A lot of them didn't have a healthy role model, a healthy masculine role model. And that's why they're in such toxic masculinity. They are manipulative, they're using people, they are attaching for wrong reasons to people. They're picking friends and partners and circles for gains, for material gains mostly. So yeah, if you feel that your masculine's energy is hostile towards you, it's because of a few reasons. One of them is your absence, the absence of your energy in their life, and they're trying to get their hands on your energy no matter what. A lot of them try to love bomb you, whether in and what I'm saying is whether in 3D or in 5D or in telepathy, however they connect with you, however your connection is. If you're talking, that could be that, or if you're telepathically communicating, that could be that, or if they come to you in your dreams, that's also another way. But like my own masculine has tried so many different ways to get a hand on my energy, especially around the eclipse, the solar eclipse. It was very difficult to lay boundaries with him because your energy is their safe spot. It's their haven to run away to and hide when things get difficult for them. Um, it could be your pictures, it could be your memories, it could be your energy just talking to you, just thinking about you, just daydreaming, just manifesting with you. Any thought of you can comfort them, and they use it as a pressure relief, to just calm themselves enough to get back to the toxic environment again and deal with the shit again. They don't come to you fully because they don't think they're deserving you. They don't think they're good enough for you. But at the same time, they need your energy for survival. And that creates a toxic bond, and that's not healthy for you as a feminine energy. So yeah, keep up your boundaries. But if you feel that they're hostile, and they are dark, and they are defensive, or they're pulling away, or they're doing whatever to get you triggered, it's because they feel the absence. That's one reason, and they want to get your energy, either by manipulating, showing you that they're not gonna be there anymore. Like my masculine told me that he doesn't love me anymore yesterday, and I said, well, good for you. Then you're released. So just show them that their mind games don't work on you anymore, and that all of you see through each other just clearly. The same way that they know you've loved them and you've been there for them, the same way you know that they have loved you even if their relationship was toxic. And you know all their weaknesses, and you know all their empty spots, and you know all their voids, and you know all their beauties as well. You know their strengths, you know their power as well. So with these masculines, they can't really fool you anymore if you have awakened and if you're in your power. But they might come out resentful and hostile towards you, also because that they see you're growing, in character, and maybe even in your 3D life. If your life is moving forward, if you're dating a new person, that your masculine will know about it, even if they can't see it, or they can't prove it, or they can't hear it from other people. They feel it. Some of these masculines might feel that you're pulling away because you're dating someone else. Some of them might hear in gossip that you're with someone else, or you're putting your own business together, or you have moved neighborhoods, or you bought your own house, or you did whatever. Because some of these separation periods have been so long that sometimes your only way of knowing about each other is just to tap to each other's energy, and that's it. Um, so if you receive hostile energy from your masculine, don't be triggered by it. I think it's a good sign. It's a sign that they are becoming aware of what's wrong in their life and what they need to look at, both with mother wounds, father wounds, the stuff that they had to deal with in their childhood, the voids in their soul that they filled with materialistic items, and all the karma pretty much on their plate that they have to deal with. This They are becoming more aware of that, and their third eye chakra is opening to that. Their intuition is telling them what to do. And I was pulling some cards on their energy last night, and I saw judgment in reverse. And I just know that they don't want to respond to that judgment call that is constantly poking at them, telling them what they need to do, what they need to work on. And part of that is coming towards you. They know that they have to apologize. They know that they have to make things right. They know that they have to get on their path. They know that they need to leave some people behind. But all of that scares them. And I think that a lot of them are not strong enough or courageous enough to accept that their new path will not carry everyone and everything from their past onto it. A lot of these masculines are fearful of their new life, or opening a new door, or getting onto a new path, because they know that the new world, the new life, the new path is not capable of having everybody that they already have in their life with them. They can't carry everyone with them. Just like you couldn't carry them with you into your new life. If somebody is not changing, if somebody is not growing, if somebody is trying to keep a guard up towards growth and towards change and towards becoming better, then you can't drag them with you, right? If you try, you can drag them just so far, but people initiate change for themselves. Like until someone wants to change, you can't do anything for them. You can't do anything about it either. You can only work on yourself and focus on yourself. So these masculines know that once they open that door and get onto the other side of the door, some of the people in their life and some of the things that they collected so far in their life will not be able to go with them, because people around them, a lot of these people are karmic people. Their cycles have already ended. The lesson is just on a cycle of repeating. There is no growth in those environments. Some of them have friends that all they do with these friends is just, I don't know, grabbing some drinks. Some of them have partners that there is a cycle of love making, love bombing goes up to, I don't know, a certain euphoria, and then it just goes down again, because that person is in their life to teach them a lesson, and that relationship is not growing because those problems, whether it's the masculine's problems or the karmic's problems, they are not solvable together. Sometimes karma is bound to that connection. It's not just an energy. It's the purpose of that person in your life is to teach you a lesson about yourself or about some karmic cycle that you have. And these masculines, they are refusing to see that. They are refusing to see that some things in their life are outdated and they just need to go. I know a lot of feminines have got rid of a lot of garbage in their life. They have crossed out a lot of karmic energies coming at them from friends, from social circles, from work environment, and they cleaned house pretty much. But the masculine is still attached to their karmic energies, to their toxic environment, and a lot of these masculines have never been on their own for too long. A lot of them have been always attached to their families. They have always had support from somewhere. They always had someone to rely on and lean on. Even if they had their own financial independence, they had emotional codependency with someone. These people have never been fully on their own 2 feet. So thinking that they might lose these support systems, whether it's family or friends or a partner, it's fearsome to them. It's scary to them. So that hostility towards you can come from these fears and this lack of confidence and this feeling of lack altogether. They might be working night and day. They might be, I don't know, applying for 1,000 jobs a day. They might be working so hard to just bring a coin to the table. But it may not happen, or it's not happening for them, and it can get frustrating because their environment and the cycles they're in are karmic, they're toxic, it's supposed to finish before they can bring something new, and these guys just don't see it. And you can't do anything about it for them. They need to experience this on their own. And they need to drop some of this weight in order to pick up something new. And that's just the common sense. If like I said in my previous talks, if you have 10 things in your hand and your hands are full and all these things are old and you don't want them anymore, and you see a shiny thing on the floor and you want to pick that up, you have to drop at least one thing to pick one thing up. You can't go over your capacity. You have to let the dead go. And for these masculines, this sense of attachment to what's dead is preventing their growth, and it's kind of sad to watch, because as feminines, you know how powerful they are and how smart they are and how empathic they are and how creative they are, and you know all their powers and their skills, but at the same time all their weaknesses and all their flaws and all their blockages get on the way of their own happiness. And that is one big reason for you as a feminine to detach from these energies, because you don't want his life to keep you trapped. You have already dealt with your own dramas and karma. You don't want to be trapped into somebody else's karma. You don't want to be trapped with someone that doesn't grow, with someone that's stubborn, with someone that wants to cross their hands and act like a child. You are growing, and you deserve someone and some energy and some environment that is aligned with your energy. Someone mature, someone that can protect you, someone that can provide for you, someone that understands you. Someone you can share your thoughts and ideas with, and they want to hear. Because right now these masculines are like pretty much like 5-year-olds. They're like a Peter Pan. They want to stay in Neverland. They don't want to grow up. They don't want to change their environment. They are used to suffering. I was telling my masculine in telepathy the other day that he comes, takes energy, and he runs, and it's almost as if and when he does that, sometimes it doesn't even feel manipulative. He really is in a bad spot sometimes, and he really does come for that nurturing energy that we have. Like, they do come for that. But I was telling him that it sometimes feels like he is allergic to happiness. These people have been in such a dark place that your light can blind them. It can be uncomfortable. It can scare them. It's like I always picture this image of a prisoner coming out of these medieval dungeons, coming out to the light, and the sun shines in their eye, and they can't see anything first. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. And that's the same case with these masculines. They might true happiness, a true heart chakra opening, feeling true love, feeling unconditional love, love that has no attachments, no conditions, no ifs and buts. There's no codependency with it. Love that is free. They have never experienced it, and it can scare them. It can scare them to feel happy, to feel good, believe it or not. Because if somebody's environment has always been bound to gossip, to negativity, to karma, to jealousy, to envy, to talking about other people and judging them, to bring people down, to I don't know, all the negative and toxic energies that some of these people circles and families are in, they get used to it, and that becomes their life, that becomes their reality. And your energy, your light, your happiness what they feel with you could be euphoric, it could be unreal, it could feel like too good to be true, and that's why they run. But if you're stable, if you're in your power, if you're home within yourself, um, there is really not anywhere to run for these masculines anymore. I made an example of training a wild horse. If a trainer is stable and in the center, the horse only ends up running around him. Because if you're not running and if you're not chasing, that rope is a fixed length. If you're stable and anchored in the center, then that rope is just rotating, it's just circling around you, and that's why they keep circling around you, these masculines, and they come in and they go out, and they come in and they go out, but they're always there, and their energy is always there because you stopped running and you stopped chasing as well. So in these times of turbulent energy, when energy is going up and down, and with all the resentment and darkness that you could feel from your counterpart because they are in this hot and cold energy towards you, and they feel severely betrayed by you, they could feel abandoned by you even. Try to find your home, find your base, find your anchor, and don't let their energy and their turbulence to shake you. Have your boundaries, and respect yourself and love yourself, and it is good to keep the unconditional love for them. The love you have for your counterpart is going to always be a part of you, but live your life. It is possible to love someone and love yourself at the same time, and focus on yourself and focus on your own growth, and just wish them well and just let them do their thing. They're big enough, they're big boys. They can take care of themselves, and they're protected by the divine, they're protected by the universe, they're protected just like you are. And nothing bad is going to happen to them that is not their karma. If anything's happening to them, if they're going through a rough time, if they're losing money, if they're losing their health, if they're losing family, it's all to open their eyes. They're all alarming, eye-opening things for them, and they need to see that. And they need one of the things that I wished for my masculine when I was going through my awakening was for him to also shatter, for his reality to shatter, so he can build his new one, so he can build a more healthy one. So these masculines need to go through that ego death, and that's shattering experience in order to build new. The death process need to happen, and we are going through that in 2020, in personal and social level. We are going through a phase of transformation and transition from the old into the new. And death and transformation is never easy. It's always painful. It's always traumatic. It always about letting go of some things that was dear to us. Family, friends, jobs, things that we built, relationships. But right now we have to focus on living the present, and hoping for a better future and manifesting that better future. And keep in mind that your thoughts are very strong, and you can manifest whatever reality you want into your life. And don't let fear take you over, and don't let other people's judgments and fears shake your foundation. Okay, guys, so keep strong and keep healthy, and think happy thoughts, and I see you in the next post. Take care.